What are some horror stories that you have seen or heard about out here in Kensington?
I know girls that I met beautiful and I see them now and they've been shot, stabbed. I'm sure you know everything else follows. Completely different looking. Some are missing body parts, like cut up, put on the avenue, and some at K&A in suitcases. Not very good things, like kind of the most some are like the biggest horror stories that you can probably say are most people's biggest fears. They come to life here. Hi, they call me Sky, but my name is Dominique.
What is your middle name?
Viola.
I'm sorry?
Viola.
Viola. Oh, that's a beautiful name.
And I am in Kensington because my addiction brought me here in the last few years. I live here now.
How old are you?
28.
Where are you originally from?
Atlantic County, New Jersey.
Yo, shout out Jersey, we out there. Say what's up to your girl Dominique, show us some love. Okay, Dominique, can you please tell us a little bit about your childhood growing up?
Yeah, it was different, like, not like most childhoods. Like, both of my parents divorced when I was really young and remarried the same year. I was about 6 when they did that. My mom got pregnant with my little brother at 8. It distracted her from so much, like, that she could have been giving me more attention. She had to give it to my little brother, and he also suffers a mental health disorder as well as I do. And the attention was needed that wasn't there, and 2 parents already not being in the home was rough, and then inviting step-parents in was rough. Then my parents loved using me as a tool to, you know, get back at each other. Like, so I was already like starting life just wrong, you know. And I couldn't handle it well. I mean, I was probably raised by what people would call young parents. Marriage was meant to get divorced to me, so I was scared to marry and never got married. I have 2 kids, a 10-year-old son, a 4-year-old daughter. I didn't really know how to parent them, you know, and I do the best I can where I can, and I've learned from other people's parents, because my mom was young when she had me. There was a lot of mistakes made that weren't at the fault of purpose. It was accidental, learning from mistakes, trial and error. As a result, like many other people like me that were children and were affected by things, you know, I suffered I guess it was domestic violence, you would call it, with my mom and my real father. My real father was very abusive. Luckily, I was not sexually abused by my real father, but very, very physically abused by him. He had a temper that he didn't control. He didn't take his meds. He was off. And I'm his only daughter and the only child in my entire generation on that side of the family. There was a lot of pressure on me. immediately was labeled the black sheep of the family if anything was done wrong. My mom's was a playfield as I was growing up, and she had full custody. My dad was the monster I'd get sent to when I was bad at moms and she couldn't do anything else to help the situation. Dad was looked at like the monster, and it's a shame because his intentions were good, but his mental health was so distorted that every time he did not think he needed his medicine anymore, he would stop taking it, and next thing you know, he's beating somebody in the head, or, you know, I'm finding myself staying up all night, not going to school the next day because of concussions. Hospitals, not being watched, scared to death. My mom's grabbing me, taking me in cars like we're running, and I didn't know what for. So many things were occurring before the age of even 6 that fear was instilled in me and self-defense was instilled in me, that you either fight or flight immediately, and running was something I've done naturally. So I took advantage of people growing up. I learned from my elders that I was around, and again, I was the only one in my generation. So the closest in age to me was my dad's youngest sister. She took me around doing things with her and her friends, and my aunts were like my cousins, kind of. I had a couple cousins on my mom's side. My mom, she didn't want me around the family. She was probably the only one that attempted no dysfunction. I had worked really hard to gain approval in my life. I people pleased extremely in school, at home. I was always looking for Dad's approval, waiting by the window for him to come get me, and him never showing up was a regular thing on the weekends. He never seemed to care that I wanted his approval, or even notice it. And when I tried, and looking back, it was an obvious attempt. It seems as though when he should have realized I was looking for his approval, he would shut me down more, it seemed like. And when nobody would give me the reactions that people look for naturally when they're having these natural emotions, it seems as though my reaction to it was, you know, screw you, I'll hurt me. So I really struggled with wanting to fit in. I felt like I will do what people don't. My mom used to try to uplift me. She was very good with telling me the right things growing up. That she did do. If anyone hurts you, come to me. I'm here for you. I'm your biggest fan. She was definitely uplifting. She went to college when I was an early teenager. Tried to do better, change the things that she learned. She made mistakes about raising us.
Can you please tell us what are some of your favorite childhood memories?
I know fishing with my dad was something I really was into. He would take me out fishing, bike riding when he and my stepmom bought a house. I remember they were so into redecorating, I mean, literally the walls, everything. I was able to pick how I wanted rooms, and we did this, and we were always doing family-oriented activities. My real father, his intentions were amazing. My stepdad, he did very well too. He filled in where my dad wouldn't, and let me call him Dad. And family started to get better as I got older, except that because of what was instilled and what was an accidental side effect of them learning from their trial and errors, in the midst of all this, I was growing more bitter, sour, affected by they kind of swept under the rug, and I never blamed them for it because it's not right to, but as a child and never getting the right things done and all the wrong things occurring, I didn't really know how to articulate what the problem was. And when I was old enough to, it was kind of just too late, and nobody even really cared. And wanting attention that you don't know how to ask for, you shouldn't have to ask for, makes it hard to convince people that you're loved. Especially with a child where nothing's wrong with the child until they're learning these behaviors. Like, you know, it was like an environment versus biology, except both were, you know, not really heading down the right path.
Okay. All right, Dominique. So Dominique, tell us a little bit about how you got involved in drugs. Who introduced you to drugs?
So, well, that kind of goes back to when I was telling you my mom, she tried getting me to do the right thing, but my dad was more the enforcer, the scary guy. He would believe in more corporal punishment, which was legal back then. I was with my mom at her house, and she's on some psychology in school thing, trying to figure everybody out, diagnose everyone, doesn't believe in corporal punishment, so I'm stomping my feet and getting everything I want, or she'll just give up and couldn't take it anymore. And my little brother was dealing with both of us a handful, whereas my dad had all eyes on me. And what kid wants to go in an army base home when they can be in a free-for-all camp? My mom was very distracted, to say the least, working in school, my little brother, and then me, who was already damaged. And my boyfriend was about to graduate and kicked out of his house, so my mom let him stay with me, and I was about 15 for this. 15-year-old should not have her 17, 18-year-old boyfriend staying with her. I was very manipulative and very persistent. I got what I wanted as a kid. I did not stop until I got what I wanted. Strong will, to say the least. When I wanted something, I went for it, and it happened. There was no try to do this or try to get high, but I tried to clean my room. I tried to go to school. That was unsuccessful, but when I wanted to go and hang out with my friends, I got there and I did what I was supposed to do. My friends were all 18 when I was 14. What they were experimenting with was everything and nothing the kids my age were doing. Maybe 13-year-olds at that time in 2008, roughly, were smoking joints, drinking, maybe. Me, I was trying PCP, and you know, a close friend had a lot of money and was going downhill from her mother dying, so she tried everything with all 15 of us kids, all different ages, young group from the town, and we just, you know, we all had a rough family life, so we called each other family, and we all got high together, and she treated to that for a summer, and it just never ended. Like, you know, she's now dead. She was my friend for my whole life.
How did you get involved with heroin?
Well, that back then, that was the thing back then. Everybody was doing real heroin though, like not really the fentanyl. There might have been some stuff passed around with a cut maybe. I don't even know, I just knew it was heroin, and usually on the East Coast, it was a powdered form of heroin.
Yeah.
Went from China white to an Afghan brown dope. Never really felt like it affected me. I started dating a guy that was 26 and with one of the crowd. He was one in the crowd that I was friends with. And he was 26 when I was 15. I was like 15 and a half maybe, about to turn 16, and swore I was already 16 and grown too. I was probably sniffing Percocets for like a month, and that was my opiate introduction, and after that I had sniffed heroin for a month, 2 months tops, if I'm remembering roughly. After that, I went straight to shooting it. Never looked back again.
How did it feel the first time you tried heroin? How did it make you feel?
You know, it's crazy. My whole life I had trouble finding words for what that feeling is like, because there isn't any. What is close to it, what it does for me, is what I can articulate. That it gives me that energy boost. It makes me feel complete. If I can explain how they say meth users say that heat goes to all extremities when they inject meth, voids get filled through all extremities of my body in physical and mental and emotional areas. Like, every extremity is complete. My brain chemicals are probably automatically working on what they're used to, or should have been, I should say. So many things can be brushed off the shoulder, not cared about, numbed out, emotions are gone. I feel nothing but euphoria. Even when I was angry, I was in the most uplifted sense of anger. On drugs, I felt like I was self-medicating a lot with what I needed or wanted, and also my behavior had characteristics that lacked in the better areas. So therefore, I felt like it picked up where I slacked and never did the right things. I could have worked on these. Nobody showed me consistency, hard work, and what that would bring you. I had to watch wiser, older people that I found something in when I seen them. And whatever higher power, you know, you believe in, like, there's something out there that brought me to certain people that taught me certain things, and for that I'm grateful. So many things I could think like the average person and say I regret that they came about. I don't regret that. I'm happy that everything happened to me because I learned from it, not because of anything that it should be here or that I would like to go through it again. No, I just am happy to be who I am today. I'm very, like, I love myself, and I found myself probably through this epidemic, and it didn't have to be, you know, but it did. And for that I came out a very different individual, but for what I could have been. The heroin started with the guy I dated that
Hold on, what you said?
You asked how the heroin started.
Uh-huh.
Well, my friends that I got high with, they didn't really want to give me heroin, but you know, he was like supposed to be a boyfriend at the time that I should have never been with, really. Well, for a 26-year-old, probably shouldn't see nothing in a 15-year-old, but I didn't know that back then.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my mom didn't really do anything about that. I don't understand exactly why she allowed me to convince her to let that slide. I don't think that's something my daughter will convince me to do, no matter what she does. I got away with a lot, and that probably put me where I'm at. I was allowed to run away, so doing heroin was something that I got away with, and that's what encouraged the addiction to on-go. Got you. You know?
So currently out here in Kensington, how many bags of fentanyl do you use every day?
I can inhale easily without ODing at least a bundle to 2 a day.
And in a bundle, is 16?
Yeah.
How do you go about supporting your habit?
I am a working girl, usually.
Okay.
In the streets, I prefer to not be in the streets if I didn't have to be. Or escorting, I wouldn't really want to do the job, but it's the only thing that will not take down a household. Like,
who introduced you to, to work in the streets? As when you came out here, who took you under their wings to learn all the tricks?
I learned on my own. Like,
you never had a pimp?
I did, but only for like a couple days. I ran away. I'm not good with authority, but I learned what I needed to, and then I left. Like, sometimes that wasn't easy, and I guess they call me a renegade hoe.
What's the most amount of money you made in a day doing dates?
I've escorted offline. I learned how to do that. I needed pimps to show me that and how to do that the right way. I did that. Doing it correctly, I've made thousands a day, easily. Off the avenue, it's a little different. They know people are seeking and taking less than they're worth. I think the most I made out here was 400. That was rare.
How do you know they're not the police?
You don't.
Have you been locked up for doing that before?
Absolutely.
How many times?
Oh, what, for doing prostitution? No.
You never been locked up?
I have been, but not for prostitution.
What were you locked up for?
Possession and distribution of heroin.
What's the longest you've been in jail?
3 years, state prison.
So when you came out, what triggered you into going back to using drugs?
Honestly, I maxed out and I wanted to come back and get high right away.
Wow. So going back to doing dates, what has been your worst dating experience?
I probably don't remember it. I blacked out some, but what I can remember to be my worst experience would be getting robbed and getting raped. I've been robbed and raped out here. I've had guys do subliminal rape also. I say that like that because they will do the date with me and then put a gun to my throat and take the money. And they don't know how much money I have. Like, it really wasn't enough money to be doing that to somebody you wouldn't think, but it happened. There's been a lot of things that I've had to kind of run for my life from out here. People, they think I don't take stuff serious because I have a nervous laugh.
Okay, out here doing dates and stuff, how does that impact how others see you?
Probably not very good. But I have a very different outlook.
What's your outlook?
I don't want to take down any household. I have destroyed households with this addiction. My great-grandparents spoiled me, being the only one in their line of family. They've seen my child, so that was their great-great-grandchild. Trust me when I tell you, they died in my addiction, and they definitely were not okay with it, but if they didn't know it was for drugs or they weren't told it was for drugs, they couldn't tell me no. Like, they loved me so much, and I took a lot of advantage of it, stressed them out, and I actually held my grandmother while she died, my great-grandma. She died of a brain aneurysm, probably stress-induced, from worrying about me, my kid, that habit I was forming, road I was going down. So many things that I did with this habit, with financially. I made sure that I would never do that again. I did not even get into a relationship really after this time frame because I didn't feel like I should do that. I recently also tried again to stop working this job and getting settled down, and it didn't work. I can't really be medicated properly. I think now I'm ready to get clean. Definitely not clean, but a replacement, like a methadone to get me started at least, would be something I can see possible. Other than that, I've tried detoxes and I've tried doing things, and I can't get myself physically not that sick to the point where I can stop. I have accepted that I'll probably die on it. So what others look about how I do it is not what my main concern has been, even though I know it's probably not good. However, like, you know, some say if people don't judge right away and they be inquisitive and find out the truth, then maybe they would know what they're looking at.
Do you think prostitution should be legalized?
I do, only because I think that it's their body and people shouldn't try to propertize or own, or whatever the word would be for that. I don't think someone should be trying to tell someone what to do with their body.
Okay, due to the fact there are some bad dating experience out here, have you experienced any best dating experience?
Absolutely. I've had a lot of functional, decent dating experiences, especially in the line of when it was escorting for me. The pay was good, and sometimes I would just hang out with the guys. Like, it's not even really always got to necessarily be a sexually looked at thing. Some guys just want someone to talk to.
When you approach a car, what do these guys say to you?
It's kind of just a look now, like, you know, they wave you over and then they just kind of, they usually don't say right off the bat. Some do, who are used to it, I should say.
Right.
Some that I could tell are not, you know, coming to arrest me anyway. Them are guys I'll usually approach right away by the way they move, and I'll ask them, like, listen, you know, do you want a blowjob or do you want both? Like, after I find out that they're not law enforcement.
What are the prices you charge between a blowjob and a push-push?
What's that?
You know, push-push?
Is that what you call it? I never heard of it before, but that is cute. Well, I don't make these prices up, but the Avenue has apparently done itself sturdy with 20 and 40. That's what they...
And that's for blowjobs, 30 and 40?
Yeah.
And for push-push is how much, 60 and up?
Sometimes from 40 and up.
Or sometimes less than that, depending on the girl, right?
Yep.
Because I heard some girls, you know, selling their body for like little as $5 out here. I heard stories like that before.
There's girls doing that. I won't do that. I've actually gotten out of cars. I try to keep some type of respect for myself.
Absolutely.
If I can't even get done what I need to get done, what is my point in being here with you?
Got you.
I really don't even like taking it for that. I literally probably have only stayed on the Avenue when I wasn't foundationing myself to be able to escort. For example, I've had a phone for about a week or two. I have to get into accounts when I can do that. If I still decide to escort, that would be something that I would take that route. But if I can get on the methadone clinic, I'll probably just get clean and try to get a job again.
Hopefully.
I really would like to do that. But being on the Avenue is not something that I would stay okay with.
Right.
And for the fact that these girls can even do that for less than what gets them off, $5, $10, and they can't even get well. I don't know how that is something that can manage, but when you're desperate, you'll do whatever to try to climb the ladder to get back to
Absolutely.
decency.
What are some requests that you will absolutely not do on a date?
I probably try to avoid anal if I can. Some things are just wrong and immoral. I wouldn't do those things, such as, you know, with children.
Understood.
Wouldn't, probably nothing weird, like, and nothing I couldn't do.
So have men used you in the past to make money for drugs? in a relationship, has men used you?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, absolutely.
So now, how do you stay safe out here?
I carry a rock in my purse sometimes.
Rock?
Yeah, steak knife, whatever I can
Do to protect
use.
yourself?
Yeah, if I need to defend myself, I probably my odds are probably not going to be that good. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because what am I going to do, really? You know, and I got a kid.
So within a daytime, 24 hours, what's the longest you can go without using drugs?
An hour, 2 hours, I start getting weird.
Okay.
I go about 6 to 8. I'm in full-blown detox.
Do you feel any shame or guilt due to your drug use?
That's a little hard to explain.
Okay.
I think I have a mental health issue with feeling things. I feel like I only feel that way now when it's a selfish thing, because nobody really loved me has been a feeling I've always felt, the way I should have been loved anyway. I don't blame people, but again, it wasn't there. So where that lacked, I tried to fill in. Like, I always stood up for myself, for people who were weaker where I could, and I felt strongly about that. So I love me, so if it's a selfish thing, then yeah, I probably do.
What all have you lost due to your drug addiction?
My kids, my family, my money, my sanity, my ex, a couple of them that were good to me, that wanted me to get clean. My jobs that I would have made into careers that would have been very fun to do. And I probably could have did a lot for people.
What have you learned from your addiction?
It taught me that people are not like me. I am very different than most people, and I always wanted to be, so I guess that's a good thing. I learned that people will do and say whatever they need to get another one. Their values are one of the first things they lose, it seems like. And it seems as though drugs are just another demonic form of possession to take over the world. Like, and it starts small and it gets probably very big, but I am one of many that are just going to be on one side of the chessboard, like, you know, and I just hope I can not inflict anybody negatively. Like, I never wanted that. I just think I'm just still running from, like, the initial problem. Like, I definitely learned that.
Understood. So, what's a day in your life is like?
I haven't really wanted to live, like, anymore. It could be terrible, it could be good. It's definitely, I wouldn't say Russian roulette because you know what to expect. I would say more like blackjack, like.
So you're not afraid of dying?
I'm afraid of what I would lose, dying. I've already lost everything, but I have hope in and I believe in myself. I still fight for, like, something now. For a while I didn't.
That's good.
Yeah, I want different, but I guess I'm not afraid of dying. No, I accepted that could be something that may happen. I would probably find peace there. I don't have any here.
I pray you do reconsider that.
Yeah. I would love to be clean.
What do you think it's going to take to get you clean?
A methadone clinic.
A methadone clinic?
IOP, therapy.
Okay. All right.
My own place to live. I need my space.
The space, absolutely.
Classes.
And you have insurance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make some phone calls. I know some some people who can definitely help you out if you're serious about doing this, you know?
I mean,
'Cause it's easier said than done, right?
I'm gonna do it regardless.
Okay, that's good to hear.
You know?
Let's get off topic just a little bit just to get to know you as an individual. What's your favorite color?
It was always purple.
Purple, the royal color. She's royalty. What are some of your favorite foods?
Reese's peanut butter cups.
She likes sweets. Do you have a favorite ice cream?
Yeah, probably like a chocolate fudge brownie peanut butter cookie dough kind of
Oh,
thing.
sounds good. Do you have any favorite candies?
Special dark chocolate, Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh, she likes chocolate.
Yeah, I like the
She
Hershey's dark
likes
chocolate.
chocolate.
They're my favorite.
Okay, I thought I heard a train in the distance. Okay, that's nice to hear. Do you have a favorite band or artist?
From Autumn to Ashes, I actually named my daughter after him. Her name is Autumn. I named her.
Another one coming again. Me and the audience member would like to know, what is your zodiac sign?
Aquarius.
Aquarius, she said that, but you don't have to ask her one more time. Yo, say what's up to your girl Dominique. Shout out to all the Aquarius out there. Give us some love. That's nice to hear.
We're in the census year.
All right. Are you a high school or college graduate?
High school graduate.
What was your favorite subject in school?
Believe it or not, I liked science, math. English I was good at, reading I was good at. Math I wasn't too good at, but I enjoyed doing it. I liked the challenge of it.
Okay. When you was a little girl, what do you want to become when you grow up?
I wanted to be a doctor of some type, like a marine biologist. Like,
That's awesome.
I wanted to do interior decorating. Cosmetology was something I watched my aunt do.
Wow.
And I ended up going to school for that. I got almost all my hours. I just didn't do state board. Like, and I was over in Jersey.
Got you. Awesome. Do you have a spiritual or religious belief?
I've actually, on my own, I studied by taking the time to put my own experience in and be trained by real people living the real life of the traditions. I've studied different ones, but I was born and raised Catholic.
Where do you believe you'll go when you die?
I don't know. I don't know what God's values are.
When was the last time somebody told you that they love you?
I have weirdos that call me and tell me they love me all the time, but that's not really like telling me they love me. But somebody from it being authentic, it's been a while, long time. Like a real I love you, a long time.
Right.
It's been a manipulative thing lately by somebody who doesn't even know me, who's lied to people about knowing me. It's been a lot of traumas lately, like I'm experiencing.
Gotcha.
That are ongoing, like, and it's because of this addiction, like.
Right. Okay, so what's your favorite season of the year?
Fall, autumn.
Why?
The colors change. It's beautiful.
Colors.
The weather's nice. And it's a new beginning. Like, I'm sorry, backwards, it's coming to an end. Like, everything changes. Like, either or, everything's changing. Like, you know, the leaves come off the trees, and when spring comes around, like, that's the next year, so you have like a whole fresh start to do whatever you want.
Right.
And I like pomegranates too, and then they're coming around soon, so.
Oh yeah.
They're my birthday month.
Oh, awesome. What's your favorite restaurant?
It's Italian food.
I'm sorry?
Italian food.
Italian. Do you have a favorite clothing store?
Chanel was a thing.
Chanel?
Yeah. I didn't get to shop there much, but I definitely like their stuff. If I had to pick like a regular clothing store, an everyday one, Probably Ross was something I liked.
Okay.
Forever 21.
Nice. What are some jobs that you had in the past?
I usually did customer service. I started off like ShopRite, cashier. I did Dunkin' Donuts, cashier and drive-through. Basics like that. I did bus tables and waitress for a short period of time. I did a machine operating job when I was home on parole, ISP. I didn't get parole.
Got you.
I got a what do you call it? I got a dancing job when I was 18, and that was after all these regular jobs that I attempted to do, except for the parole one. But I danced for like 5 years.
Got you.
Became very good at it.
Okay, that's nice. So what's your favorite pastime hobbies?
Well, doing that, I would train girls on the pole. If I could pick anything I really like to do, I like working out at the gym. Pole fitness is something.
So are you able to do some of those things still, due to the fact you're out here?
No.
No. Okay. At the end of the night, when you go to sleep, what are some things that you dream about?
I don't dream anymore, hardly. If I do, it's apocalyptic nightmares. Like.
So you're currently single?
Yeah.
What do you look for in a partner?
A friend.
Is that
Someone who I can tell my secrets to and that wants me to be in my most comfort zone. Definitely not somebody I feel like I gotta run from.
Is it hard to meet people out here in Kensington to get into actual relationship with?
Absolutely.
Can you trust anyone out here?
No. I don't trust myself out here. I can't imagine how I could trust anybody else. Plus, they probably, I'll put money on the fact that I don't think I know everything, like some people like to say, but I do believe that I have a lot of experience and I have a control problem. I feel like I will steer better than somebody else.
Understood. Now, do you have any short-term goals for yourself?
Just to make it to this methadone place and be consistent with that. Find a job so I can continue to support myself to get there, and find a place for me and my kid, and go to school.
Do you stay in touch with your kids?
No.
Do you stay in touch with your family?
No.
Okay, to anyone who was wondering how you're coming along, what message do you have for your friends and your family?
To hang in there and don't lose faith in me, and that trust me. They may not be in my short-term goals, but they're in my long-term.
What's one thing you do every day to make sure you take care of yourself?
I make it down here. My medicine, I should put it that way.
Okay, you get your medicine. If you had 3 wishes in this world, what would your 3 wishes be?
My kids back, to have the experience I have and not have to, not put the work in, but not have to still be in the consequences.
Absolutely.
To not have lost so much.
Gotcha.
That you can't get back with time.
Due to the fact my channel is a helping channel, we support people with stuff that they need. Is there anything that you need that we can provide you with as far as like clothing and stuff like that? Do you need anything like that?
I don't really, honestly, I don't have a place to really go where I feel safe.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you that question. Are you currently homeless?
I am as of now. I got someone who will let me stay with them, but I feel like I can't get sleep because, I keep being touched in my sleep or whatever. I feel like it's always an issue where I'm homeless by choice, and then these people try to say things about how I'm a terrible person to have and that they threw me out. I don't really feel like I'm a problem to live with as much as my addiction is. I can't stay in shelters. I have like a bad experience with that, few. And it's not even just the authority thing that I have issues with also, but I have other experiences. Hopefully I can have a situation more recovery related that I can get some help with.
Okay.
When I'm ready, you know.
Absolutely, when you're ready.
The day is on its way.
Got you. Okay, guys, so yeah, that's the interview, guys. I want to tell you guys thank you for tuning in. AML Films, Dominique, and we out there, guys. Peace out.
Thank you.
Quiet's driving me insane. Silence rattles in my brain. Yeah, I gotta get